Life has a way of testing our patience. Doors seem closed, opportunities feel delayed, and it's easy to begin to wonder if all your effort is in vain. But there is a divine promise that must anchor your heart today. God says, persevere. Success is on its way. When you hold on to hope and refuse to quit, you align yourself with God's perfect timing. Remember, success is not always instant, but it is inevitable for those who remain faithful. Every struggle you face is shaping you. Every delay is refining you. Every setback is preparing the soil for a breakthrough. Don't let your present circumstances dictate your future. Let God's promise define it. Keep working diligently, keep praying fervently, and keep believing unwaveringly. Success doesn't always arrive according to your schedule, but it will arrive according to God's. It's in perseverance that character is formed. When you continue to move forward despite obstacles, you develop resilience, wisdom, and strength. God honors those who don't give up. Every small step taken in faith is planting seeds that will eventually grow into a harvest beyond your imagination. You may not see it now, but your persistence is not in vain. So today, make the decision to persevere. Refuse to quit when the journey gets tough. Stay focused on your vision, trust the process, and know that God is orchestrating your path. The moment you feel like giving up might be the moment just before your breakthrough. Success is on its way, not by chance, but because God is faithful and He is working behind the scenes on your behalf. Timing is one of the most difficult things for the human heart to understand. We live in a world that demands instant results. We want promotions immediately, answers to prayers quickly, and solutions to problems as soon as we encounter them. Yet God's timing operates on a completely different level, a level that is far beyond our comprehension. It is perfect, deliberate, and full of purpose, even when it feels like nothing is happening. One of the greatest lessons you can learn in life is that waiting is not wasted. Every delay has a reason. Every season of waiting is designed to prepare you, refine you, and position you for something far greater than you could have imagined. To trust God's timing is to acknowledge that your life is in His hands and that He sees the whole picture while you can only see a part of it. Too often, people become frustrated because they compare their timing to someone else's. They look at the success of friends, colleagues, or even strangers and wonder why they have to wait while others seem to move ahead effortlessly. But God's plan is unique for every individual. Just because someone else is prospering now does not mean you are behind. It simply means that their journey and your journey are unfolding according to God's perfect plan. To trust His timing is to stop comparing yourself to others and start focusing on faithfully walking the path He has set for you. Each step, no matter how small, is moving you toward the destiny He has prepared. Trusting God's timing also requires patience, a quality that is cultivated, not automatic. Patience is not simply waiting, it is how you behave while you wait. It is about remaining faithful, disciplined, and hopeful, even when the days feel long and the nights feel lonely. When God delays an answer or a breakthrough, it is not a denial, it is not a rejection. It is a divine arrangement that allows you to develop the skills, wisdom, and character necessary to handle the very thing you are waiting for. Impatience, on the other hand, can cause you to make decisions that are premature, impulsive, and ultimately detrimental. Trusting God's timing means resisting the temptation to force things to happen on your schedule and instead embracing His perfect rhythm. One of the most profound truths about God's timing is that He knows exactly what you need and when you need it. Sometimes we pray for immediate provision, yet what we receive in that moment would not be enough for the challenges ahead. God waits to give us more than we ask for or expect. He waits to ensure that we are spiritually, emotionally, and mentally ready to receive what He has in store. Just as a farmer does not harvest crops the day they are planted, God does not release your blessing until the moment is right. Trusting his timing means believing that he knows the right moment to act, even when it seems late from our perspective. Another aspect of trusting God's timing is recognizing that waiting is a period of preparation. While you wait, you are being equipped for the greater purpose that lies ahead. Perhaps there are relationships to build, lessons to learn, or skills to develop that will be essential for your breakthrough. In these moments of waiting, God is at work behind the scenes, orchestrating circumstances, aligning opportunities, and shaping your heart. Your role is not to rush ahead or become discouraged. It is to remain diligent, consistent, and faithful in the areas he has placed you. When the timing is right, everything will come together perfectly, and the results will far exceed what you could have achieved on your own. Faith is the key to trusting God's timing. Faith is the inner assurance that God is working even when nothing appears to be happening. It is the confidence that he has a plan and that plan is good. Faith does not eliminate the waiting, but it gives you the strength to endure it with hope and optimism. By trusting God's timing, you protect yourself from the anxiety and frustration that come from trying to control the uncontrollable. You release your need for immediate results and rest in the certainty that God's plan is unfolding exactly as it should. Trusting God's timing also requires surrender. It is a daily decision to let go of your agenda and submit to his. It is acknowledging that his wisdom surpasses your understanding and that his perspective encompasses eternity. The moments of delay are not setbacks. They are setups for greater things. When you learn to embrace this truth, you begin to see waiting not as a punishment, but as a privilege, a time when God is meticulously preparing every detail of your life to ensure that our breakthrough is complete, lasting, and transformational. Every delay, every pause, and every season of waiting is intentional. God's timing is not random. It is precise and it is full of purpose. To trust it fully is to experience peace, hope, and confidence even when the path ahead is unclear. It is to rest in the knowledge that success will come, not by chance, but because God is faithful and his timing is perfect. Life has a way of testing the heart, challenging the mind, and stretching the soul. Obstacles are not merely inconveniences. They are opportunities for growth, and perseverance is the vehicle through which character is formed. When you continue moving forward despite setbacks, disappointments, or delays, you are developing qualities that cannot be gained any other way. Character is not something you are born with, fully formed. It is something that is forged in the fires of trials and molded by the decisions you make in difficult times. Each time you refuse to quit, each time you take one more step, when your strength is failing, you are strengthening the very foundation of your character. Many people misunderstand the purpose of challenges. They see adversity as punishment or misfortune, when in reality, it is a tool of preparation. Life will inevitably bring moments that test patience, endurance, and faith. These moments are designed to show you what is in your heart, to reveal your true nature, and to cultivate qualities that will serve you for the rest of your life. Perseverance during these times is essential. It is the conscious choice to stay the course, even when every voice within you is urging you to quit. It is a declaration that you will not be defined by temporary setbacks, but by the strength and resilience you develop in response to them. Perseverance teaches endurance. Endurance is more than simply surviving difficulties. It is the ability to thrive despite them. When you persevere, you learn to navigate challenges without losing hope. You learn to maintain integrity, even when shortcuts or compromises seem tempting. You develop patience, humility, and wisdom, all of which are critical elements of character. Those who give up easily may achieve momentary relief, but they miss the transformative power that comes from walking faithfully through difficulty. Every trial endured strengthens the muscles of your soul, making you more capable, more resilient, and more prepared for the blessings ahead. Perseverance also reveals the depth of your faith. Faith is not tested when everything is smooth and easy. It is tested when life becomes challenging, when the road is long and the burden feels heavy. Persevering in these times demonstrates that your trust is not dependent on circumstances, but anchored in something far greater than what you can see. It proves that your belief is not superficial, but deeply rooted. It shows that you are willing to keep moving forward, even when the outcome is uncertain, because you understand that God honors those who persist. Every step taken in faith is a step toward growth, maturity, and a strengthened character that will withstand the storms of life. Moreover, perseverance cultivates humility. When you face challenges, you are reminded that you are not in complete control. You learn to rely on wisdom beyond your own, to seek guidance, and to trust in a process larger than yourself. This humility is essential because it tempers pride and teaches you to value the journey as much as the destination. Character is built not only by the victories you achieve, but by the way you conduct yourself in the midst of trials, how you respond to difficulty, how you treat others while under pressure, and how you maintain integrity when no one is watching, are all indicators of the character being formed within you. Consistency is another gift that comes through perseverance. Character is not built overnight. It is cultivated through repeated choices, steady effort, and daily commitment. Each time you choose to persevere, you reinforce a habit of steadfastness. You prove to yourself that you can endure, adapt, and grow. Over time, these small acts of resilience accumulate, creating a robust character capable of handling much greater challenges. This consistency becomes a testimony not only to your own strength, but also to the faithfulness of God, who sustains and equips those who refuse to quit. It is important to remember that perseverance is not simply enduring for endurance's sake. It is purposeful. It is intentional. Every challenge you face, every trial you endure is shaping you for something greater. The person you are becoming through perseverance is far more valuable than the immediate success you may be chasing. Character built through perseverance lasts. It is the foundation for leadership, influence, and the ability to make a positive impact on the world around you. Success without character is fleeting, but success built on the strength of perseverance endures. Perseverance also inspires others. Your determination, your refusal to give up, and why? Our steadfastness in the face of challenges serve as a model for those around you. People watch how you respond to adversity, and they are encouraged by your example. Character shaped through perseverance becomes a beacon of hope, demonstrating that difficulties are not the end of the story, but stepping stones to greater strength and maturity. Every trial you face, every setback you endure, and every challenge you overcome is an opportunity to strengthen your character. Perseverance is the process by which your inner strength is revealed, refined, and fortified. It transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary resilience, ordinary patience into unwavering endurance, and ordinary faith into a deep, unshakable trust. Those who persevere are the ones who leave a lasting mark because their character has been shaped by the fires of life and tempered by the wisdom gained through every struggle. Too often, people underestimate the power of small steps. They look at the mountain ahead and feel overwhelmed, forgetting that every great achievement begins with a single, deliberate step forward. Breakthrough does not always arrive in a sudden, dramatic moment. Most of the time, it is the result of consistent, faithful effort over time. Every small action you take, every decision to persevere, and every choice to keep moving forward is laying the groundwork for something far greater than you can see in the present moment. Big victories are rarely spontaneous. They are carefully constructed through patience, persistence, and attention to the little things. It is important to understand that progress is often invisible at first. You may plant seeds of effort, diligence, and faithfulness, and for a season you may see little or no results. The temptation is to grow discouraged, to think that your labor is wasted, or to believe that your prayers are unanswered. But just as a farmer does not dig up his crops to see if they are growing, you must trust that what you are doing is producing results beneath the surface. Each small step taken in faith, each act of obedience, and each consistent effort is working quietly, preparing the ground for a harvest that will exceed your expectations. Small steps build momentum. Momentum is powerful because it creates forward motion, and even the tiniest movement adds up over time. When you take one step today, another step tomorrow becomes easier. Each successive step strengthens your confidence, reinforces your focus, and increases your determination to continue. Momentum transforms effort into progress, and progress eventually becomes breakthrough. You may not notice it happening, but every small, faithful choice compounds over time, bringing you closer to your goal than you ever imagined. Faith is essential in this process because small steps often feel insignificant. It is easy to question whether your efforts matter when results are not immediate, but faith enables you to see beyond the present moment and trust that God is working in ways you cannot yet perceive. Every small act of perseverance, every moment of discipline, and every decision to stay faithful is contributing to a bigger picture. What may appear minor today is actually a critical part of the journey toward your breakthrough. God honors consistency and diligence, and He multiplies even the smallest efforts when they are aligned with His will. Company. Consistency is another key aspect of small steps leading to big breakthroughs. Life rarely offers instant success or overnight miracles. True, lasting change comes when you commit to doing what is necessary every single day, even when you do not feel like it. Each step taken consistently reinforces a pattern of faithfulness, resilience, and commitment. These repeated actions not only build skills and knowledge, but they also shape your character. The discipline you develop through small steps is often more valuable than the immediate outcome because it equips you to handle even greater opportunities when they arrive. Small steps also teach patience. Patience is not passive waiting. It is active perseverance, and it requires understanding that success is a process. When you take small, consistent steps toward your goal, you learn to trust the journey instead of obsessing over the destination. You learn that every effort counts, even if it does not produce immediate results, and that God's timing is perfect. Patience and persistence go hand in hand, and together they create a foundation for breakthroughs that are sustainable and meaningful. Another reason small steps lead to big breakthroughs is that they reduce the intimidation of large challenges. Sometimes the magnitude of a problem can paralyze us, making us feel powerless or incapable. But when you break the challenge into manageable steps and focus on what you can do today, you regain control and build confidence. Progress, no matter how small, creates momentum and opens doors that were previously hidden. Step by step, obstacle by obstacle, you move closer to the victory that has been promised. Small steps also foster resilience. Each small effort teaches you to persist despite setbacks and obstacles. You learn that failure is not the end, but an opportunity to adjust, grow, and try again. Resilience develops when you continue to take steps forward, even when the journey is difficult. And this resilience is a critical ingredient for achieving big breakthroughs. It ensures that you are prepared not just to reach your goal, but to sustain it once it arrives. Every step matters. Every moment of perseverance counts. Every small action taken with faith contributes to a bigger, greater outcome. Success is rarely instantaneous. It is cumulative, built from the small, consistent, faithful steps taken over time. The breakthrough you desire is not beyond your reach. It is being constructed through every effort, every act of obedience, and every decision to keep moving forward. By embracing small steps, trusting the process, and remaining faithful, you position yourself to experience breakthroughs that are not only significant, but lasting. Faith is more than just a belief in something unseen. It is not simply a mental agreement or a passive hope that things will turn out well. True faith is active, powerful and intentional. Faith in action produces results because it moves beyond words into deeds. It requires stepping out, making decisions, and taking consistent steps toward what God has promised, even when the path is uncertain. Without action, faith remains dormant and ineffective. But when faith is expressed through obedience, diligence, and perseverance, it becomes a force that transforms situations and shapes destinies. Too often, people misunderstand faith. They think that if they believe strongly enough or pray hard enough, the results will automatically manifest. While belief is essential, faith is not passive. It is demonstrated by what you do in response to God's promises. Action is the bridge between belief and reality. When you hear a promise from God, your response is critical. You must align your steps with that promise, acting as if what God has spoken is already unfolding. This is not recklessness, it is confidence rooted in trust, knowing that your efforts, guided by divine direction, contribute to the fulfillment of God's plan. Faith in action requires courage. It often asks you to move forward in the face of fear, uncertainty, and opposition. You may not see the full picture, and the circumstances may appear overwhelming. Yet faith compels you to act anyway, trusting that God is faithful to honor his word. Every step taken in obedience is a declaration that you trust God more than you fear your situation. Courage is born when faith drives your actions, not when conditions are perfect or outcomes are guaranteed. By acting in faith, you demonstrate that your confidence is in God's power, not in your own ability or understanding. Consistency is essential when exercising faith in action. One act of faith may not produce immediate results, but repeated faithful actions build momentum and create an environment for breakthrough. When you consistently act on God's promises, even in small ways, you strengthen your spiritual muscle and cultivate a pattern of obedience. This consistency is what produces lasting results because it aligns your life with God's principles and positions you to receive his blessings. Each step of faith, no matter how small, contributes to a larger outcome that may only become visible in time. Faith in action also requires patience. Often, the results of our efforts do not appear immediately. This is where many people grow discouraged, forgetting that God works behind the scenes in ways we cannot see. Every action taken in faith is planting a seed, and seeds take time to grow. Patience ensures that we remain steadfast, continuing to act, to pray, and to trust, even when there is no visible evidence of progress. The combination of patience and action is what allows faith to mature and bear fruit. It is not enough to believe. You must act consistently and trust God's timing for the results to manifest. Faith in action produces results because it aligns your will with God's purpose. When your actions are guided by divine principles, they carry supernatural influence. God honors obedience and multiplies efforts that are rooted in faith. Your diligence, persistence, and willingness to act as instructed by God set in motion a chain of events that cannot be orchestrated by human effort alone. By taking action in faith, you become a partner with God, participating in the fulfillment of his promises and experiencing firsthand the power of his work in your life. Another aspect of faith in action is perseverance. Acting in faith does not mean immediate success or smooth circumstances. Obstacles, opposition, and setbacks will arise. Faith in action is tested in these moments, requiring you to continue moving forward, to continue trusting, and to continue working diligently. The results come not to those who give up when things get hard, but to those who persist, who maintain their commitment to act in accordance with God's promises despite challenges. Every effort made in faith builds strength, resilience, and a deeper understanding of God's power at work. Faith in action also inspires others. When people see your commitment to act on what you believe, they are encouraged to trust and take steps in their own lives. Your faith becomes a testimony that God's promises are real and attainable when matched with intentional, consistent action. By demonstrating faith through deeds, you not only produce results in your own life, but also impact the lives of those around you, creating a ripple effect of belief, obedience, and breakthrough. Faith in action produces results because it moves beyond hope into tangible effort. It transforms waiting into working, promises into steps, and belief into accomplishment. It is not enough to hope or wish. Results come to those who act in alignment with God's truth consistently, patiently, and courageously. Every effort made in faith is a step toward fulfillment. Every action is a seed planted for breakthrough, and every decision to act demonstrates trust in God's power, positioning you to experience the results He has promised. There's a very powerful truth that many people overlook. Breakthrough often comes when you feel like giving up. It is in those moments of exhaustion, discouragement, and doubt that the promise you have been waiting for is about to manifest. Life has a way of testing our limits, pushing us to the edge, and making us question whether it is worth continuing. Yet it is precisely at this point, when all seems hopeless, that perseverance becomes essential. Every trial, every challenge, every delay is preparing you for the very breakthrough that will change everything. The reason so many people never see their breakthroughs is that they quit just before victory arrives. When you feel like giving up, it is easy to focus only on the obstacles in front of you. You begin to measure your life by what you cannot yet see rather than what has already been promised. The mind becomes overwhelmed with doubt, fear, and frustration. You may ask, why is this taking so long? Or am I on the right path? These are natural questions, but they can become dangerous if they lead to surrender. The critical choice in these moments is not whether the path is hard, but whether you will keep moving forward despite the difficulty. Persistence is the bridge between despair and breakthrough. The moment you decide not to give up, you position yourself to experience a shift that may seem impossible until it happens. Breakthrough often comes after preparation. Every struggle, delay, and setback serves a purpose in shaping you for what lies ahead. Just because progress is slow does not mean it is absent. God is often working behind the scenes, aligning circumstances, opening doors, and orchestrating events that will lead to your breakthrough. The problem is that you cannot see the entire picture. You may not understand why things have taken longer than expected, but trusting in the process is essential. Each step you take in faith, even when discouraged, is part of a greater plan that culminates in a victory that far exceeds what you could have achieved on your own. Persistence builds strength. When you feel like giving up, the simple act of continuing to move forward strengthens your character, your resolve, and your faith. Breakthrough is rarely instantaneous. It is the result of consistent effort over time. Every day you choose to keep going, every moment you refuse to quit, you are developing the endurance and resilience required to handle the blessing that is coming. Without perseverance, you might reach the finish line unprepared. The delays and challenges are not obstacles to your success. They are preparation for it. Another key aspect is perspective. When you feel like giving up, it is crucial to shift your focus from what has not happened to what is being prepared. The breakthrough is often closer than you realize. Many people fail to recognize that the greatest victories in life often occur right after the hardest moments. If you quit now, you will never experience the reward that is on the other side of perseverance. But if you hold on, if you continue to trust, work, and believe, you will discover that the breakthrough was imminent all along. The timing may not have been yours, but it is perfect. Breakthrough is also tied to faith and hope. Feeling like giving up is a test of belief. It is easy to trust when circumstances are favorable, but true faith is proven when all seems lost. Hope is the inner assurance that what has been promised will come to pass, even when the evidence is not yet visible. By maintaining faith and hope in the midst of difficulty, you are aligning yourself with the promise of breakthrough. Your persistence becomes a testimony to your trust in God's faithfulness and to the power of endurance. Many people give up because they underestimate how close they are to victory. They allow discouragement to blind them to the reality that their breakthrough is near. The enemy often tries to convince you that your efforts are meaningless, that you are too late, or that success will never come. But these lies are designed to make you quit. The very moment you feel like giving up may be the very moment God is ready to intervene. Every struggle, every delay, and every challenge has been preparing the way for your triumph. Your perseverance is what unlocks the door to the victory that has been promised. Breakthrough also brings clarity. Often, after enduring the struggle and refusing to quit, you gain insight, wisdom, and understanding that could not have been obtained any other way. The challenges sharpen your vision, strengthen your faith, and reveal the depth of your resilience. These lessons are as important as the breakthrough itself because they equip you to sustain the success and use it wisely. When you reach the point of breakthrough, you are not just receiving an answer. You are receiving a life transformed by endurance, faith, and trust. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. The exhaustion, doubt, and frustration are signs that you have been pressing forward, moving closer to the reward. The key is to hold on, to persist, and to trust that the moment of victory is imminent. Those who endure the hardest moments without quitting are the ones who see the most remarkable results. Giving up may feel tempting, but perseverance produces results. Success is on its way, often at the very moment when giving up seems like the only option. Focus is one of the most critical elements of success, yet it is also one of the most difficult disciplines to maintain. Life is full of distractions, detours, and competing priorities, all of which can pull you away from the vision God has placed in your heart. The enemy wants to scatter your attention, create confusion, and tempt you to pursue lesser goals that will not lead to the destiny prepared for you. To stay focused on your vision requires clarity, discipline, and a deep commitment to the purpose that God has assigned to your life. When you focus, your energy is concentrated, your decisions become aligned, and your efforts begin to produce result. Without focus, even the most promising opportunities can slip through your fingers. A clear vision acts like a compass. It keeps you moving in the right direction, even when the path becomes difficult or when the journey is longer than expected. Without a vision, it is easy to wander aimlessly, responding to every distraction and losing momentum. But when you know what God has called you to do, when you have a clear picture of the life you are meant to lead, every choice you make can be measured against that vision. Decisions become easier, priorities fall into place, and obstacles lose their power to derail you. Staying focused is not simply about working harder, it is about working purposefully toward what truly matters. Distractions are everywhere, and the world will constantly compete for your attention. Social media, competing voices, fear, doubt, and even well-meaning advice can pull you away from your purpose. The key is to be intentional about where you invest your time, energy, and thought. Guard your mind and heart against things that do not align with your vision. Not every opportunity is yours to pursue, and not every task is worthy of your focus. By filtering out what is irrelevant, you create space for what truly matters to grow. Staying focused is an act of discipline, and discipline produces clarity, effectiveness, and momentum. Persistence is closely tied to focus. It is not enough to have a vision. You must keep your eyes on it consistently day after day through challenges and delays. There will be times when progress is slow, when obstacles seem insurmountable, and when you feel like giving up. These are the moments that test your commitment. Staying focused during these times is what separates those who ultimately succeed from those who abandon their dreams. Focus enables you to maintain consistency, to continue taking steps forward, and to resist the temptation to turn aside at the first sign of difficulty. Your vision is not just a personal goal. It is a reflection of the purpose God has placed in your heart. Every time you stay focused, you are honoring that purpose. Every time you refuse to be distracted, you are aligning your actions with God's plan. Staying focused requires prayer, reflection, and regular realignment of your actions with your ultimate objective. It also requires the humility to recognize when you have been pulled off course and the courage to redirect your steps. Focus is both an attitude and a practice, one that is cultivated intentionally and maintained through consistent effort. Clarity of vision also produces confidence. When you know where you are headed, when you understand the steps required to get there, and when you trust the source of your calling, you can move forward with boldness. Confusion and doubt often arise when people lose sight of their vision. They become reactive rather than proactive, responding to circumstances rather than creating progress. Staying focused keeps your mind sharp, your heart motivated, and your efforts aligned with the bigger picture. Confidence grows when your vision is clear and your steps are consistent. It is also important to remember that focus requires patience. The journey toward your vision may be long and filled with trials. There will be delays, setbacks, and moments of uncertainty. Maintaining focus through these seasons is what ensures that you will reach your destination. Patience allows you to persist without giving in to discouragement, knowing that every effort, every sacrifice, and every faithful choice contributes to the eventual fulfillment of your vision. The path may not always be easy, but staying focused ensures that you remain on course, steadily progressing toward what God has planned for you. Finally, staying focused requires a heart fully committed to your calling. It is easy to become distracted when your motives are divided or when you seek approval from others rather than pursuing the purpose God has placed in your heart. True focus comes when your vision is tied to your divine purpose, when your motivation is rooted in obedience and faith, and when your actions reflect a commitment to achieving what God has promised. This kind of focus produces results because it is both intentional and inspired, guided by wisdom, and strengthened by faith. Every step you take while focused on your vision matters. Every effort, every decision, every sacrifice contributes to the fulfillment of your purpose. Focus is the lens through which your actions gain clarity, direction, and impact. By keeping your eyes fixed on the goal, by guarding against distractions, and by remaining persistent, disciplined, and patient, you position yourself to experience the success and breakthrough that come from aligning your efforts with God's plan. Life is a series of seasons, and each season serves a purpose. There are times of joy, moments of testing, periods of waiting, and seasons of breakthrough. Too often, people get frustrated when they find themselves in a difficult season, believing that their current circumstances are meaningless or that they are somehow stuck. But the truth is that every season has been orchestrated to prepare you, teach you, and position you for what is to come. Understanding this truth transforms your perspective, allowing you to embrace each moment with faith rather than frustration, hope rather than despair, and diligence rather than resignation. One of the most important lessons in recognizing the purpose of each season is understanding that timing matters. God's plan is perfectly timed, and every season contributes to his larger design for your life. Even when it feels like nothing is happening, the season is working behind the scenes to align your circumstances, refine your character, and strengthen your faith. It is easy to become discouraged when progress seems slow, but the delay does not indicate neglect. It indicates preparation. Every season, no matter how challenging, is shaping you for a purpose. The T will be revealed in due time. Seasons of difficulty in particular are often the most powerful teachers. They reveal the strength of your faith, the depth of your patience, and the resilience of your spirit. When you face trials, setbacks, or disappointments, you are learning lessons that cannot be taught in times of ease. These seasons test your character, refine your priorities, and clarify what truly matters. They are designed to prepare you to handle greater responsibilities and to appreciate the blessings that lie ahead. The challenges of today are building the capacity for tomorrow's victories. It is also essential to recognize that every season has its own rhythm and purpose. Some seasons are for growth, others for rest, and still others for preparation. Trying to rush through a season or wishing it away often results in missed lessons and unpreparedness for the next phase. God does not waste time or energy, and He does not place you in a season without reason. By embracing the purpose of the current season, you align yourself with His plan and maximize the benefits that each stage offers. Even seasons of waiting are productive as they teach patience, faith, and perseverance. Perspective is key in understanding the purpose of every season. When you view challenges or delays as meaningless, you miss the opportunity to grow and learn. But when you see them as intentional, designed for your refinement and preparation, your outlook shifts. You begin to recognize that every setback, obstacle, or delay is temporary and that it is equipping you for a future that is far greater than the present moment. Perspective transforms endurance into expectation. It allows you to move forward with confidence, knowing that your current season is laying the foundation for your breakthrough. Another vital element is faith. Faith allows you to trust that the purpose of each season is real, even when it is not immediately visible. It is easy to lose heart when circumstances are difficult or when progress is slow, but faith keeps your eyes fixed on the ultimate outcome. Every season has a purpose, and faith helps you to see beyond the present moment to the fulfillment that is coming. By trusting that God is working in every season, you gain strength to persevere, clarity to make wise decisions, and courage to continue walking in obedience. Seasons of preparation often require patience and discipline. They may demand that you focus on building skills, relationships, or resources that will be essential for future success. They may require introspection, self-reflection, and the shedding of habits, attitudes, or behaviors that no longer serve your growth. These periods are not wasted. They are formative. When you embrace the purpose of each season, you are equipped to move into your next phase with confidence, competence, and readiness. Finally, recognizing that every season has a purpose allows you to maintain hope and joy even in times of struggle. It shifts your mindset from frustration to expectation, from fear to faith, and from despair to determination. You understand that nothing is random, that every challenge, delay, or trial is part of a larger plan, and that each season is a stepping stone toward the fulfillment of God's promises. Life becomes a journey of intentional growth, preparation, and alignment with divine purpose. Every season matters. Every experience, every challenge, every waiting period is contributing to the person you are becoming and the life you are meant to lead. By recognizing the purpose of each season, embracing the lessons it offers, and walking faithfully through it, you position yourself to enter the next phase fully equipped and ready to receive the blessings that await. Nothing in your life is wasted, and nothing is without meaning. The seasons are your training ground, your classroom, and your preparation for the extraordinary future that God has designed for you.